Hello everyone, today we are going to implement these landmines that supports replication. So as you can see, this is the landmine and this is the server instance and this is a client. So I'll look at that landmine from both clients, and first I'll go there, walk into this landmine, and now as you can see, the server player died and respawned, and both these client players saw it, so the event is properly replicated. Now let's test this from a client. So I'll use this time that grenade over there. Let me go closer to that. Right, now let's, yeah, from here we can see that player. Okay, from the server also, let's look at him. Right, now let me walk into that. Right, so as you just saw, the client is also died from that landmine, and the event is replicated from client to server and client to client, and in all the combinations basically. So right, let's see how to implement this today. And this episode is specially sponsored by this generous patron. Thank you very much for the support you are giving me. So previously in our multiplayer game, we already implemented grenade throwing. Let me show that in a separate editor window so we can easily demonstrate it in a 3-player environment. Right, if I throw a grenade, you can see it is replicated to all the other characters like that. Right, so I am going to use the same grenade to implement the landmine, because in the grenade we have already implemented this getting hit parts, explosions, everything. Right, so first let's go to our blueprint folder and create a blueprint actor BP landmine. Wait, so landmine is going to be some kind of a trigger when player enters a certain area. Landmine should be triggered. So actually later on I am planning to spawn create some more trigger types. Yeah, anyway, let's do it this way. Now let's call it BP instead of landmine trigger. Right, so we can have a common class for all types of proximity activated traps. Then I'll add collider sphere collision. Let's make it like this. Let me place it in the word. Right, okay, now on component begin overlap, we need some kind of a way to detect if this is another playable character, but I don't think that would matter much here. So right, anyway, if some other actor collapse with overlap with this object, let's just add a print wait, let's just add a print and print the overlapped object. Right, where did I place it? Let's keep the visibility of this sphere visible so that we can see where it is for testing purposes. Okay, there. Right. When I go there, you can see this event is called. Right, so using that, I don't need this one now. So let's create another custom event. On trigger, and let's just call on trigger. Right, now let's create a child blueprint using this trigger type. Let's call it pp trigger landmine. Yeah, so the reason to, as I explained before, the reason to have a child parent class is so that I can have different types of traps that is activated based on the proximity from the other characters. It could be like falling down objects, it could be like setting things on fire, it could be like exploding stuff, it could be like landmines, various things, or some electrocute player characters get electrocuted when go near, things like that. Right, now in this trigger landmine here, I'm gonna override on trigger event. So just in case if we have anything implemented in the parent class, I will call that one as well. And here I'm gonna set lifespan to like 3 seconds, and let's create wait, what if I make this run on server? So the inherited, this one will also be running on server. Right, and then let's spawn a grenade using this function spawn actor from class, and select pp grenade as the spawn transform, get actor transform, and collision handling override, try to adjust, no, but always spawn, because if it is already overlapping with something, the grenade will not be spawned if we choose the other option. Right, then let's call throw on the grenade with the velocity of 0, or let's just use like 5 to throw up a little bit, throw upward, not throw up. Then that should do it. Let's see. Here we have the server, and where's the grenade? Over there. Here is a client. Oh wait, nothing happened. Sorry, this is just a trigger, nothing happens actually there. We need to put a landmine instead. Right, now let's test with the server first. Okay, it keep exploding. Why is that? Let me check again. Alright, I guess when the grenade is spawned, again this trigger is called. I guess that's what happens here. So let's once the trigger is called, let's set this to ignore collisions. Set collisions enabled to no collisions. Also I didn't do once. Should help too, but since we are overriding this, oh no, just adding a do one should be enough. Anyway, let's try this now. Right, I'm dead. And the mine is also gone. Okay, let's add a couple of landmines to test from both clients and the server. So we tested from the server. Let's test with the client now. Let's test it this one. So I'm looking at this landmine from the server and from the other client. Right, now I'll play with this client so that we can see if the grenade explosion is visible for the client and the server. So as you can see, now this is the character I control. Let's go there. Okay, so as you just saw, the death is replicated, the explosion is also replicated. Let's test from, let's test this landmine with the other character. Okay, alright, so replication happens in both ways. Let's test the final one again with the server. Oh, wait a minute, only this landmine is visible for the server, but in other instances we can see all three landmines. So what's the issue? I guess they are not destroyed for, oh, they are destroyed, but they are still not destroyed in client instances. Why is that? Alright, let's go back to the BP trigger And here under the class defaults, under replication, let's take this replicates to true. Right, now let's test. Let me put this here and two clients like this. Okay, now I'll go over there. Right, as you just saw, the landmine is destroyed for both server and client. And if I destroy here, again landmine is destroyed for both server and client. Okay, so I guess that does the trick. Right, now I'll remove the visibility of this sphere and let's add a decal so that there is some way for the player to know that there is something is over there. Wait, why is it shaped like this? It's not a box. Actually, for the decal, for the grenade throwing, we implemented this mdecal material. Let's try the same thing. And let's see how it looks. See, it looks like this. Now players have some way to identify there is something. So actually for real gameplays this shouldn't be as obvious like this, but for now I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, and also let's add some other cylinder or something. To represent okay, maybe let's make it black, go another color. Okay, let's use red. Right, now this is a landmine. This is so simple landmine. Do you think it's too big? Right, I guess this is fine. Now let's see the final demonstration. Okay, as the server, I'll go there and done. Right, I think it would be better if the landmine is made invisible once the player overlap with it. Oh, actually we can make this like 0.2 seconds. Right. And if you don't remember what happens with this health box is that a health pack is dropped when my character dies, so that's what happens there. That is something we implemented previously. See, Right. Okay, so let's stop for today. So if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. Link could be in the description below, and also project files will be available for the download in the Patreon page. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.